I'm about to reveal the truth about these 5 blood pressure medications and what they really do to your kidneys as you get over 60. The problem is that many common prescriptions place an invisible strain on your filtration system, and because kidney decline is silent, you might not feel the damage until it is quite advanced. I have seen this happen far too many times in my practice, but today I will show you exactly how to protect yourself. I remember a man named Arthur, who was 68 years old, coming into my office feeling constantly exhausted and drained. He thought his fatigue was just a normal part of aging, but his daily blood pressure medication dosage was actually silently exhausting his kidneys. He started experiencing strange swelling in his lower legs, a lingering metallic taste in his mouth, and a constant need to urinate during the night, which are all subtle signs that the kidneys are struggling to keep up with the chemical load. Your doctor might have been giving you standard information based strictly on lowering your blood pressure numbers, completely missing the bigger picture of what those pills are doing to your organs. Most people do the right thing in the wrong sequence when trying to fix this, and I will show you the strongest method after you understand the setup. The very first step involves understanding how common water pills, known medically as diuretics, force your kidneys to work overtime and the absolute importance of monitoring your daily hydration. Many older adults are prescribed these pills to flush excess sodium and fluid from their bodies, which effectively lowers the pressure inside their blood vessels, but it also forces the kidneys into a state of constant, demanding labor. This prevents accidental dehydration that heavily strains the kidneys and keeps your entire system functioning smoothly without unnecessary stress. Martha came to see me because she was terrified after her routine blood work showed declining kidney function, and she was 72 at the time. She had been prescribed a water pill but completely stopped drinking water throughout the day because she hated getting up to go to the bathroom so often. Her kidneys struggled and became highly stressed until she learned how to balance her fluid intake correctly. Her energy returned, and her follow-up lab results showed significant improvement in her kidney health. The kidneys act as the primary filtration system for your entire body, constantly sifting through your blood to remove waste products and excess fluid, and they rely heavily on a steady supply of water to perform this job. When you take a medication designed to pull water out of your system and you fail to replace that water, the blood volume drops and the kidneys receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients to sustain their own cells. A recent study involving older adults on blood pressure medications revealed that even mild chronic dehydration can significantly accelerate the decline of kidney function over just a few years. To manage this properly, you should sip water steadily throughout the entire day rather than trying to drink large glasses all at once, which can overwhelm your stomach and bladder. Keep a designated water bottle on your kitchen counter or next to your favorite chair, and make it a habit to take a few sips every time you walk past it or during commercial breaks on television. You should also pay close attention to the color of your urine, aiming for a pale, clear yellow, which is a highly reliable indicator that your kidneys have enough fluid to do their job without being strained. If you have chest pain, fainting, severe shortness of breath, or one-sided weakness, seek emergency care. If you find that sipping water is difficult to remember, try setting a small timer or tying the habit to another daily activity, like having a glass of water every time you finish reading a chapter of a book. This supports steadier readings and happier kidneys. Comment your age and your usual top number range below so we can see how common this issue is. 2. The next crucial action is recognizing how a specific class of medications, often ending in the letters PRIL, directly changes the internal pressure of the kidney itself and adjusting your routine to accommodate this shift. These medications are extremely common and are designed to relax your blood vessels, but they also alter the delicate pressure balance inside the tiny filtering units of your kidneys, which requires careful monitoring. This keeps the kidney filters from being overworked and ensures that the medication is actually helping your body, rather than slowly causing silent damage over the years. Robert was 65 years old and felt absolutely fine, completely unaware that anything was wrong inside his body. He went in for routine blood work, and the results showed elevated creatinine levels, indicating that his kidneys were under a significant amount of stress from his daily medication. He learned the absolute importance of getting regular, scheduled blood panels when taking this specific type of blood pressure pill, and his doctor was able to adjust his dose to a much safer level. His kidney numbers stabilized quickly, and he never had to experience the severe symptoms of advanced kidney decline. These medications work by blocking a specific chemical in your body that normally tightens blood vessels, and while opening up these vessels is great for your overall blood pressure, the kidneys rely on a very specific internal pressure to push waste through their filters. When the medication alters this flow, especially if your body is stressed by a minor illness, dehydration, or a sudden change in diet, the kidneys can struggle to clear waste efficiently, leading to a buildup of toxins in your blood. You must never skip your scheduled lab tests for kidney function, even if you feel perfectly healthy and your blood pressure readings at home are exactly where they should be. Make it a strict habit to mark your calendar for your blood tests the moment you receive the order from your doctor, and treat that appointment with the same importance as you would a major family event. It is also incredibly helpful to keep a personal record of your lab results over time, so you can easily spot any slow upward trends in your creatinine or potassium numbers before they become a serious medical issue. It is a good idea to subscribe for more simple blood pressure tips like this so you can stay informed. If you ever experience a sudden illness that causes vomiting or diarrhea while on this medication, contact your doctor immediately, as the rapid fluid loss combined with the medication can cause a sharp drop in kidney function. This simple check keeps you in the safe zone. 3. The third essential step involves closely watching for the dangerous buildup of potassium in your bloodstream when taking medications that often end in the letters SARTAN. These pills are widely prescribed because they are very effective at lowering blood pressure with fewer side effects like a dry cough, but they fundamentally change how your kidneys process and eliminate essential minerals. This prevents profound muscle weakness and potentially dangerous heart rhythms while actively protecting the delicate filtering mechanisms inside your kidneys. Helen, who was 70 years old, decided she wanted to be much healthier and started eating a large amount of bananas, spinach, and avocados every single day. She did not realize that her daily blood pressure medication was already making her body hold on to potassium, and her new diet pushed her levels dangerously high, causing her to feel incredibly weak and dizzy. She learned how to balance her diet with her medication, and her energy returned to normal while her blood pressure remained perfectly controlled. The kidneys are responsible for maintaining the exact right balance of minerals in your blood, and they constantly filter out excess potassium into your urine to keep your heart beating in a steady, regular rhythm. This specific type of blood pressure medication slows down that elimination process, meaning that the potassium from your food stays in your bloodstream much longer than it would in a person not taking the medication. If you suddenly increase your intake of potassium-rich foods, or if you start using a salt substitute that is made from potassium chloride, your kidneys simply cannot process the overload, leading to a toxic buildup. You must be extremely mindful of making any sudden, massive dietary changes that involve high potassium foods while you are taking this specific medication for your blood pressure. Instead of eating large portions of these foods all at once, spread small amounts throughout the week. And always discuss any major diet overhauls with your doctor to ensure your kidneys can handle the change. When grocery shopping, always read the ingredient labels on low-sodium or heart-healthy packaged foods, because manufacturers frequently replace regular sodium with potassium chloride to maintain flavor, which can secretly add massive amounts of potassium to your daily intake. Please subscribe for more simple blood pressure tips to help you navigate these everyday challenges safely. If you use insulin or glucose-lowering medication, check readings because changes in food or activity can affect blood sugar. But for blood pressure, the focus here remains entirely on maintaining that mineral balance. This keeps your body's minerals perfectly balanced. 4. The next vital action is understanding the severe danger of mixing common, over-the-counter pain pills with your daily blood pressure medications without strict medical supervision. Many older adults reach for everyday pain relievers for daily aches and joint discomfort, completely unaware that combining these common pills with their blood pressure prescriptions creates a hostile environment for their organs. This avoids the sudden, severe shock to the kidneys that this specific chemical combination causes, preserving your kidney function for the long term. James, who was 67 years old, hurt his lower back quite badly while pulling weeds in his garden and decided to take a popular over-the-counter pain reliever every few hours for an entire week. He was already taking a daily blood pressure pill, and within a few days his ankles swelled up significantly and his blood pressure spiked to dangerous levels. He stopped the pain pills, learned to use safe alternatives, and his swelling disappeared completely while his blood pressure returned to a safe, normal range. Over-the-counter pain medications, specifically the type known to reduce inflammation, work by altering chemicals in your body, but they also strictly constrict the blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients directly into the kidneys. When you are taking a blood pressure medication that alters the pressure inside the kidney, and you add a pain pill that cuts off the blood supply, the kidney is essentially starved of oxygen and unable to filter waste. This combination can cause severe stress in a matter of days, especially in older adults whose kidneys are already naturally aging and perhaps not functioning at their absolute peak performance. You should always seek alternative pain management strategies, such as using a heating pad for muscle spasms, applying a cold compress to swollen joints, or asking your doctor about topical creams that do not enter the bloodstream in large amounts. If you absolutely must take an oral pain reliever, you must consult your pharmacist or doctor to find an option that does not interfere with the blood flow to your kidneys or counteract your blood pressure medication. Make it a habit to physically hand your current list of blood pressure medications to the pharmacist every single time you consider purchasing a new pain reliever, allergy medicine, or cold remedy from the pharmacy aisle. When you are managing daily aches and pains, it is incredibly common to want a quick fix. But the convenience of a pill bottle in your bathroom cabinet is never worth the silent damage it can cause to your internal filtration system. The kidneys are remarkably resilient organs, but they rely on a very specific, uninterrupted flow of blood to maintain their health, and any medication that constricts that flow is a direct threat to their longevity. Older adults frequently experience joint stiffness in the morning or lower back pain after a day of mild activity, and reaching for an anti-inflammatory pill seems like the most logical and harmless solution available. However, these medications forcefully tighten the primary artery leading into the kidney, drastically reducing the pressure needed to push toxins through the microscopic filters, which forces the waste products to remain in your bloodstream. If your doctor has prescribed a blood pressure medication that already alters how your kidneys handle fluid and pressure, adding an over-the-counter painkiller creates a dangerous tug-of-war inside your body. The blood pressure pill is trying to open vessels and manage fluid, while the pain pill is clamping down on the vessels and forcing the body to retain sodium and water, which completely neutralizes the benefits of your prescription. To safely navigate this, you must build a new routine for managing discomfort that does not rely heavily on swallowing these specific types of medications, focusing instead on physical interventions that are gentle on the body. Gentle stretching in the morning, taking warm baths with Epsom salts, and ensuring you have properly supportive footwear can dramatically reduce the daily joint pain that often leads people to overuse over-the-counter painkillers. When dealing with sudden pain from a minor injury, always try resting the area, elevating it, and using ice or heat before even considering a pill, giving your body a chance to manage the inflammation naturally. If you feel you need more support, always ask your primary care physician about pain relief options that are processed gently and do not limit blood flow, as these are often much safer for individuals managing hypertension. By taking these careful, deliberate steps, you ensure that your pain management strategy never conflicts with your cardiovascular health or puts your vital organs at unnecessary risk. This one change can save your kidneys from unnecessary stress. 5. The next essential action is actively managing the ankle and leg swelling that frequently occurs with medications known as calcium channel blockers, which is often mistakenly panicked over as sudden kidney failure. These common prescriptions are highly effective at lowering your numbers, but they fundamentally change how fluid moves through your lower body, and understanding this mechanism prevents unnecessary panic about your kidney health. This reduces daily physical discomfort and keeps your mind entirely at ease regarding the true state of your internal filtration system. Margaret was 74 years old and woke up one morning with heavily swollen ankles, immediately assuming her kidneys were completely shutting down and failing to process her bodily fluids. She was incredibly frightened until she learned this was simply a mechanical side effect of her specific blood pressure medication, and once she applied a few physical adjustments, the swelling resolved and her kidney tests remained perfectly normal. These medications work by profoundly relaxing the smooth muscle walls of your blood vessels, which opens them up wonderfully to lower the pressure of the blood flowing through them. However, because the vessels are so relaxed, the tiny valves in your legs struggle to push fluid back up against gravity, causing trace amounts of water to seep out of the vessels and pool in the tissues of your ankles and feet. This pooling fluid is not a sign that your kidneys have stopped filtering waste, but rather a simple plumbing issue caused by the medication intentionally widening the pathways in your lower extremities. To manage this safely at home, you need to incorporate a simple leg elevation routine into your daily schedule, preferably in the late afternoon or early evening when gravity has had the most time to pull fluid downward. Find a comfortable chair or sofa and use firm pillows to elevate your legs so that your feet are resting at a level slightly higher than your heart, and maintain this position for at least 20 to 30 minutes. While your legs are elevated, gently point your toes away from you and then flex them back toward your shins repeatedly, which acts as a manual pump for your calf muscles, physically squeezing the trapped fluid out of your ankle tissue and pushing it back up into circulation where your kidneys can then easily process it. Most older adults can try this safely and will notice a significant reduction in the heavy, tight feeling in their lower legs by the time they go to bed. If you have chest pain, fainting, severe shortness of breath, or one-sided weakness, seek emergency care, but standard ankle swelling from these specific medications is usually managed well with simple elevation. This helps your body move fluid naturally. 6. The next absolutely critical step is mastering the exact, precise method of accurate home blood pressure measurement to ensure you are never prescribed a heavier dose of medication than your body actually requires. Many older adults unknowingly record artificially high numbers at home due to incorrect posture or timing, which leads their doctor to increase their prescription, placing a massive and entirely unnecessary chemical burden directly on their kidneys. This prevents your kidneys from dealing with heavy, unneeded medication loads and ensures your treatment perfectly matches your actual daily cardiovascular needs. David was 69 years old and always took his blood pressure reading immediately after walking his dog around the neighborhood, consistently getting very high numbers that he dutifully reported to his physician. His doctor predictably increased his medication dose based on these readings, and David soon felt incredibly dizzy and exhausted because the medication was far too strong for his resting state, putting his kidneys under immense stress. He finally learned the proper resting technique for taking his measurements. His true numbers were revealed to be much lower, and his doctor safely reduced his medication back to a gentle, manageable level. Recent studies examining home monitoring habits have clearly revealed that a vast majority of patients over 60 routinely make slight mechanical errors during testing that artificially inflate their top number by 10 to 15 points. When you sit down to measure your pressure, your body requires a full 5 minutes of absolute uninterrupted rest to allow your blood vessels to return to their baseline state after walking, talking, or doing simple household chores. If you apply the cuff and press the start button while your nervous system is still actively managing the physical demands of standing or moving, the machine will capture a falsely elevated pressure reading that does not represent your true resting state. To do this correctly, you must sit in a firm chair that fully supports your back, keeping both feet completely flat on the floor with your legs uncrossed, as crossing your legs tightly squeezes major blood vessels and artificially drives up the pressure. Your arm must be supported on a table at exactly heart level, and you must wrap the cuff securely around your bare upper arm, ensuring the cuff is the correct size for your arm circumference, as a cuff that is too small will squeeze too hard and give a falsely high reading. You must not talk, watch television, or scroll on your phone during the 5 minutes of resting or during the minute the machine is actively taking the measurement, as even minor mental stimulation or conversation forces your heart to pump slightly harder. Here's another simple habit to add to this routine. Always take 2 readings spaced exactly 1 minute apart and record the second number, as the first reading is almost always slightly higher, simply due to the anticipation of the machine squeezing your arm. I highly recommend that you subscribe for more simple blood pressure tips to ensure you are always getting the most accurate information for your daily health routine. This ensures you and your doctor are looking at the real story. 7. The next vital action is implementing a same-day lever involving a simple, incredibly calming 5-minute deep breathing routine combined with proper, immediate morning hydration to ease the morning workload on your organs. Your blood pressure naturally surges in the early morning hours as your body prepares to wake up and start the day, and managing this specific morning spike gently takes an enormous amount of pressure off your delicate kidney filters. This naturally lowers the immediate physical stress on your blood vessels and gives your entire cardiovascular system a gentle, supportive start to the day. Sarah was 66 years old and always noticed her highest blood pressure readings were first thing in the morning, which made her incredibly anxious and fearful about the health of her heart and kidneys. She started doing a very simple 5-minute breathing routine while sitting on the edge of her bed before she even walked to the kitchen for her morning coffee, and she saw her top number drop beautifully within just a few days. The autonomic nervous system strictly controls the daily tightness and relaxation of your blood vessels, and when you wake up, your body releases a natural cascade of wake-up chemicals that slightly constrict your vessels to get your blood moving. By taking slow, deliberate breaths, you physically signal this nervous system to dial back the wake-up chemicals, which immediately relaxes the smooth muscles surrounding your blood vessels, lowering the pressure inside and easing the early morning rush of blood directly into your kidneys. To perform this correctly, sit comfortably on the edge of your bed or in a quiet chair with your feet flat on the floor, and place one hand gently over your stomach area. Slowly inhale through your nose while silently counting to 4, focusing entirely on making your stomach gently push outward against your hand, rather than lifting your chest or shoulders, which indicates you are drawing the air deeply into the lowest parts of your lungs. Once you have reached the count of 4, purse your lips slightly as if you are about to blow out a candle, and exhale extremely slowly and smoothly while silently counting to 6, feeling your stomach gently fall back inward. Repeat this slow, steady cycle of 4-count inhalations and 6-count exhalations for a full 5 minutes, allowing your mind to focus entirely on the counting and the physical sensation of the air moving in and out of your body. Most older adults can try this safely without any equipment, and it serves as a wonderful calming anchor for the start of your daily routine before you begin taking any of your prescribed daily medications. If you ever feel slightly lightheaded while doing this, simply stop the counting, breathe completely normally for a few minutes until the feeling passes, and try a shorter count the next time you practice. This gives your blood vessels a chance to completely relax. 8. The final crucial step involves a longer-term lever of adjusting your daily food patterns to strategically remove hidden sodium, which actively takes the heavy filtration burden off your kidneys so your medications can work effectively at much lower doses. Many older adults believe they are eating a healthy diet simply because they do not use a salt shaker at the dinner table, completely missing the massive amounts of sodium secretly packed into standard grocery store items. This profoundly protects the delicate, microscopic kidney filters over the years and prevents the slow, silent damage that constant, high-pressure fluid retention causes to the organ tissue. Richard was 71 years old and absolutely loved eating canned vegetable soups for lunch every day, firmly believing he was making a very healthy, low-calorie choice for his heart and his waistline. He did not realize the hidden sodium in the broth was making his body retain massive amounts of water, forcing his kidneys to work twice as hard to process his daily medication, until he learned to read the labels and swap to fresh alternatives. His fluid retention vanished completely, his blood pressure stabilized wonderfully, and his doctor was incredibly pleased with his subsequent kidney function tests. The simple physiological relationship between sodium and your blood vessels is that sodium acts like a magnet for water, and when you consume too much of it, your body holds onto extra fluid in your bloodstream to dilute the salt. This extra fluid significantly increases the total volume of blood pushing against the walls of your vessels, driving up your blood pressure and forcing your kidneys to forcefully filter a much heavier, higher pressure flow of liquid every single minute of the day. Recent studies examining the dietary habits of older adults have shown that over 70% of the sodium consumed daily does not come from the salt shaker, but rather from heavily processed, pre-packaged foods that appear perfectly healthy on the surface. To successfully manage this, you must build a strict habit of turning around every single box, can, or bag you pick up in the grocery store to read the nutrition facts panel, specifically looking for the word sodium. You are looking for foods that contain less than 140 milligrams of sodium per serving, and you must carefully check the serving size, as a single small can of soup often technically contains 2 or more servings, meaning you must double the sodium number you see on the label. Please comment below what your favorite low-sodium meal is so we can share some excellent healthy ideas with everyone watching this video today. Another helpful step is to slowly begin replacing your packaged lunch meats, canned broths, and boxed side dishes with whole, fresh foods like roasted chicken, fresh vegetables, and plain rice or potatoes seasoned with herbs, garlic, and onion powder instead of salt. When you cook with fresh ingredients, you have absolute total control over exactly how much sodium enters your body, completely eliminating the invisible burden placed on your kidneys by the heavily salted, preserved foods. This takes the heavy lifting off your kidneys. If you know someone over 50 who could benefit from this, share this video and subscribe for more simple blood pressure tips.